Megabonk is a self-help game about calm, relaxation, beautiful vistas, and breathtaking scenery. Much like other forms of self-help, whether they be videos, books, or courses, Megabonk offers you the chance to exchange your credit card in hopes of receiving good fortune. In today's video, I'll show you how I broke Megabonk, amassing over 4,000% luck, acquiring more than 40 legendaries over the course of my run, and destroying my previous kill record. Let me start by explaining how the luck stat works. Luck interacts with a ton of different systems. It increases the chance at higher rarity level ups on your tomes and weapons, and it also gives you chances at better rewards from shrines. Most importantly though, it gives you far better odds at rolling rare or legendary items out of chests, so if you get your luck high enough, you can find yourself opening legendaries back, to back, to back, to back. This is where Fox comes in. Fox's passive previously granted him 1% extra luck per level, but on the most recent patch this has been doubled to 2%, which is very substantial, especially when you'll be ending your runs well over level 1000. So I thought, great, let's give Fox a try. First though, I had to unlock Chaos Tome, and let me tell you, this probably could have been its own video. Chaos Tome has become a mainstay in all top level runs since its buff on the previous patch. However, when it comes to actually unlocking it, you can forget everything I said about this game being relaxing, because this is about as shock and ball torture as it gets. You see, the Chaos Tome is unlocked by charging all charge shrines on a tier 3 run across all 3 stages. Doesn't sound too bad on its own, but the trick is that you can't ever leave the charge zone, meaning if you get pushed or knocked out or even accidentally just step out of it once, you automatically fail the challenge. I've been putting off unlocking this for a while, but it actually has become a lot easier this patch. The dev added a really nice map which helps you see if there's any shrines you missed. Initially, I was playing Calcium just to run around the map and guarantee I could get everything in time, but after some immensely frustrating fails like this, I decided to swap. I need to get that thing without falling off the edge. Oh, dude. Fuck this achievement, man. Speed seemed more of a hindrance than anything, so after some very close calls on Calcium, I went over to Mega Chad and one-shot it straight away. With the Chaos Tome unlocked, it was time to begin my Fox arc. Fox has two major weaknesses. I found myself really struggling with his early game. The combination of a non-combat passive with a weak starter weapon makes surviving early game swarms and bosses particularly challenging. Even more so when combined with the RNG nature of Chaos Tome, sometimes giving you more or less worthless stats for the early game. The second, and far more debilitating issue is that he's a furry. Now, furriness is something that exists on a wide spectrum, and as someone particularly familiar with spectrums, I feel uniquely qualified to analyze this case. There are a variety of furry scales out there, but by pretty much any metric, Fox is well over the line. You might be thinking, Shok, what difference does it make? Why go to all the effort of proving that he's a furry? Well, my sweet summer child, you fail to see the larger picture. When we take a look at the most recent patch notes, we start to see a much more sinister reality emerge. Fox buffs, Noelle buffs, Birdo buffs, even bush buffs. And when you think about it, what is a bush but sticks with fur? Yes, I see right through you, Dev. I know what you are. Now, I'm not gonna pretend I'm perfect. I yearn for a Yuumi kitten like any other self-disrespecting League of Legends player, but I think recently, things have gone just a bit too far. Alright, let's get to work. 3 friend requests, alright, who we got? We got Yuumi bitch, hashtag sexy, alright. Lulu right thigh, hashtag meow, okay, big plus. And stateside, hashtag BDSM. Dude, this is a stacked lineup. Is this what happens when you become a big pumper and you start, demolishing games on the 80 carry? Anyway, enough about straying from God's light and back to the story. I'd try again and again with Fox, trying different weapon combos, toggling various items to make the early game a little more manageable, and I spent several hours riding the emotional roller coaster as I had so many playable runs, but I just wasn't consistent enough. Soul Harvester. Oh, pulse champ. Oh, Dragon Fire, okay, that's pretty good, That's big dick damage. It's not a legendary on the board. Evasion, complete dog shit, it's fine. Another one. Oh, the Holy Book. Okay, fellas, this is the run. I'm bad, fuck. Damn, I don't even know what went wrong. In the very last run of the night, though, I finally hit the juicer. This run begins at 12:05 AM, and as a member of the early bedtime esports club, I should have already been in bed. Still, it's impossible to end on a loss, and I'm very glad I didn't. This game started pretty unremarkably. One thing I have been trying to do, though, is opening the chests a little later. This makes the early game even more difficult because you won't have as many items early, but in theory, when you do get your items, they'll be higher quality. I also spawned Bush early, mostly to see how strong he is, and it turns out he has 30,000 health already, and I thought I was pretty doomed. At 438 though, I got a Soul Harvester, which for those of you unaware is the single best early game item you can get, as it pretty much just 1v9s the stage for you, allowing you to grade as much scaling with your tome choices as you like. I mean, just look at this. Before I leave, I grab another legendary, annihilate the little barks, and make it to nearly 5k kills before I even leave stage 1. At the start of stage 2, I get another Soul Harvester. Now, this thing doesn't scale that well, but it's going to allow me to absolutely breeze through these frauds for a while. I start opening some chests now at around 200% luck to try get a bit stronger for the stage 2 swarm. I think with my 2 Soul Harvesters, I could have graded this even longer, but I was super scared of dying since I still only had 143 HP at this point. My poor heart couldn't take any more throws, so I erred on the side of caution. Near the end of the stage, my luck was nearing 400%, and I started to get some big juicers back to back. As the final swarm began, I started getting some absolutely insane level ups. I went from 126 all the way to 186 in an instant, and my 600% luck was rewarding me with legendaries over and over. I grabbed a magnet, and this time leveled up from 271 up to 455, which, if you're curious, took about 6 minutes to select the right level ups. I want to show this one to you guys on the VOD. So you can see level 271, I think I've just picked up the magnet, right? 37 minutes here. So I go and pick it up, and initially I'm like speeding through the levels, right? But you can see I just like keep getting them. I'm going up to like 313, and then eventually it just jumps to 455. And like I was doing my best to get through these, right? I was like trying to pick them intelligently, you know, really trying to min-max my run because I knew this was it. But honestly, after like I don't know how many minutes in, my brain had just gone, you know, like it was at the point where I was just doing it so slowly because I just couldn't even really remember what I wanted anymore. So I don't know how long it ended up taking. It looks like, yeah, it was about 6 minutes. Pretty insane. Unfortunately, I didn't have an hourglass, so I didn't know how long I could stay. To be safe, I dipped after 8 minutes, but I still had more than 100k kills at this point, and I entered stage 3 at level 561 with an incredible 1500% luck already. 1500% luck or not, I started stage 3 with a blue. My luck would quickly turn though. I'd pick up 2 wardos in quick succession, although I was slightly offended they offered me an anvil after I capped all my weapons again. Oh, you bastard, you bastard. It's fine. Spoiler, it was definitely not fine. The bosses at this point were, surprisingly, not very boss-like. Just before the final swarm, Megabonk decided to punish me one last time. Green increased HP regen by 45, with 1941% luck. Riot Games. The stage 3 wave was very, very generous, but you'd hope it would be, with now 2300% luck. If I did this again, I'd have to really think about what items are best to banish. I kinda did it based on feel, but I'm sure it could be a lot better. My 4 hourglasses let me stay an insane amount of time here, and I actually beat the record of my previous run an entire stage early right before I left. I settled in for an epic confrontation with the final boss. Watch this. I have to say, at this point I was mostly AFK. My build was fully online, and all I had to do was walk around and collect my constant legendaries. In fact, near the end, I literally took my hands off the keyboard because I was scared I'd accidentally move and disrupt my idle juice. At 14 minutes, I lost my Zonya and made a last-ditch effort to open all the chests. Alright, give me another one. One more chest. No way. At long last, time finally ran out for me, and I ended the run at almost 436k kills, shattering my previous PB. Now, interestingly, I was lower rated percentile-wise with this run compared to my Spaceman video previously, which I think is because of a bug with Noelle that I've seen people talking about where she can just randomly spawn in with greatly increased damage. Either way though, this run was a turbo banger. I was also a bit surprised at the damage breakdown. You have some things like Cursed Grabbies and Cursed Doll way higher than you'd ever expect green or purple items to go, and you really see how hard certain items like Soul Harvester and Dragonfire fall off. Anyway fellas, that's it for this one. I'll keep the Megabonk videos coming, but I'm working on some other games as well. Also, I think I do need a slight break from this game because yesterday I woke up thinking I was playing Megabonk because someone used the microwave in the kitchen and the sound triggered something deep within me. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you'd really like to see me make a video on. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.